Welcome back to the Clubhouse. And for those of you just joining us, welcome to the tribe. We are a group of FSU alumni obsessed with the culture, the gear, and the game of golf. From breaking down tour news to roasting our own weekend blow-ups, no topic is out of bounds. Grab a drink and settle in. This is the Tea Time Tribe. All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Tea Time Tribe. I'm Eric, as always, joined by John and Ian. We've got a lot to discuss this week. We'll go over CJ CUP Byron Nelson. We'll have a conversation about Blaze Brown getting the temporary status on the PGA Tour. Something that we didn't really cover from the PGA Championship involving Cam Young. And then kind of get your take on what Brooks said regarding, coming back to the PGA Tour and the differences he's starting to see between the two tours. And then we'll end it with the Charles Schwab Challenge this week. So first off, CJ CUP Byron Nelson. Nothing really exciting happened. I don't even know who won. I didn't really get a chance to watch the event, so it doesn't matter. I had a good excuse though. Okay, I was potty training my child, so I think it was a great weekend. She chose a great weekend to do this for me personally.
Well, you had a shitty weekend in more ways than one. Huh?
I did.
Hey. Well, for those of you who had their heads in the sand, like Eric over here, our not so favorite Wyndham Clark won the tournament at 30 under. He I hate to say it, but shooting 60 on a Sunday against some of the biggest names in the world right now, it's a little bit more than a blind squirrel finding a nut, but there were a lot of low scores throughout the entire weekend, or throughout the entire week, honestly. It's crazy seeing how low those guys went. But I think he did have some fortunate bounces on Sunday that let him take it away. But I mean, not a single bogey on the card. So I will give him that. That's about the only thing I'll give him. But he was probably pissed off about something else. He's probably pissed he's got to pay taxes 100%. On it. He's just that kind of guy. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I was waiting for the wheels to fall off all weekend because he had 63 on Saturday. So he just had a generational run Saturday, Sunday. Especially Sunday. I was just waiting. I was like, can you just par hole? Let someone else catch up. Like this has got to chill out at some point. I was like, Scotty Live was like plus 450. He was only like 3 back pretty early on in the round. So I was like, done. But he's got this in the bag. He did not have that in the bag because he couldn't catch the 61. This was Wyndham Clark when he won at LACC, but just on a much easier course, right? Like he was just striping the ball off the box. Iron play was just elite, and the putts that he was making really weren't that deserved it because he put himself in this position. But he was hitting 10, 15 foot birdies, eagles. This course was kind of a pitch and putt in a lot of ways. $25 million renovation apparently made it a lot easier than was last year. I think last year, yep. Yeah, it was just like, what was this all this for? And yeah, I know that the greens were soft. Apparently, they had rain earlier in the week, so it was softer than it usually is on that course. But yeah, this was Wyndham's. Every couple of years, he resurfaces like cicada bugs. They just come out of the ground, however many years to bother you, and then they go back into hiding. So maybe we won't hear from him for a few years, but he just gets that year to
bothering me.
We know.
I mean, looking at the scores here, it kind of resembles like a Corn Ferry Tour event. It's just like birdies left and right, bogeys are far and few between. I don't know. It just goes back to something we kind of mention every now and then when we see these tournaments. Is like, is this a tournament that is fun to watch, that is exciting to see these low numbers here? I mean, it kind of, to me, takes away the allure a little bit because I think it was Siwoo Kim basically was on 59 watch on Friday. He ended up shooting 60. Mm-hmm. You see all these other 61, 62, 63s. It just takes it away, I think, a little bit from the game to say, like, a course this easy that everyone's lighting up is that special to see numerous low 60 rounds?
I mean, it's to each their own, right? Like, I know there are, for me, it's still something you got to go out there and you have to execute the shots. Like, yes, the course may have been, quote, set up a little bit easier, but you still got to go out and shoot the scores and make the putts. Like, game's not that easy. And there is a little bit of altitude change, like elevation changes out there. So you still got to factor that in. You got to factor in the wind, but it wasn't quite as windy as it normally is out there. So I know that plays a big factor in any courses out in Texas. So I don't know. I thought it was an interesting event to try and compete with a quote unquote signature event. You got to do something different. And maybe this is what the CJ Cup's trying to do, is trying to let these guys go as low as possible so that it can be one of those tournaments every year that gets the highlights of the ticker tape, right? On the bottom of ESPN saying, Scotty Scheffler shoots 35 under, right? Like something ridiculous. Where else are you going to see that throughout the rest of the season?
That's an interesting thought. Let's just make this the easiest course, like by scoring average on tour every year. You have to be like 1,500 to make the cut on Friday. Otherwise, you're cooked. Yeah, not a terrible idea. I mean, we talk about changing up tournaments and making them unique and all that. Team golf, signature events, blah blah blah. Let's just make this one easy. Let's make it 7,000 yards. Let's move the tees up.
Yeah,
I have an idea. Why don't they completely get rid of this event next year? That way, he cannot try to defend his title. And he can go crying.
Interesting. Okay, that's a good slant. Okay,
that's just
you really don't want you just don't want him to win ever again. I
don't. I really don't. It was a fluke. I will take this to my grave. I think it was a fluke that he won the U.S. Open.
Well, that fluke was a pretty tough course.
It was a tough course, but I don't know. I can't shoot 30 under over 4 rounds in that course. That doesn't mean I can't talk shit, though.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to recap the 2023 U.S. Open at LACC. Trip down bad memory lane for some people on this podcast.
Ricky Fowler loses it to some no-name.
It's true. Ricky was in the hunt.
Well, going back to, Ian, how you described, my weekend was shitty in more ways than one. I think I kind of brought everyone into that realm when we had 2 of our 3 guys finish in the top 20 for our tribe bet. And what I thought, or who I thought was one of the most likable guys on the tour. Part of the reason I picked him, he was playing very well. Ha-Tung Lee. Doesn't even make the cut. Gives us 0 chance.
Never trust a guy who gets lost in the bushes at Augusta. Literally disappeared off the planet. Don't trust him.
We'll never forget that. Yeah.
The plan almost worked.
And I
almost worked.
Should have known it was karma too for him talking shit about Bryson on the LIV tour. Like, karma's a bitch, especially when it comes to golf. So should have known. Should have fucking known.
Yeah.
All right. Now, so for this week, we just got to make sure we go through a list, see if anyone's said something stupid in the last couple of days.
Yep. Okay.
Leading into this week.
I like that.
Check their Instagram, see if they, posted something stupid.
Check if the wags were talking shit,
Exactly. Yeah. Ian, that's you. So let's,
Yep. You need to be on top
of the Wagstagram.
Yeah. The Wagstagrams.
But yeah, so with the tournament, like I mentioned in the opening, Blades Brown finished T14, which he only needed to finish T21 or better. He gains temporary status on the PGA Tour for the remainder of the year, basically meaning he can take as many sponsors exemptions as he wants from this week on.
Nice.
The dilemma, I guess you could say, that he's in is he kind of more or less has 3 different paths. And I'm curious your guys' take on what you think he should do. He can either basically continue just on the PGA Tour, taking all these sponsor exemptions to try to compete for full-time membership, move his way into signature events for next year, and continue down that path. He can scale back PGA Tour, continue on Corn Ferry, and try to get his card for next year through finishing the top 20 there. However, that would probably be easier for him, given I think he's like 13th or 14th on the list on the Korn Ferry Tour, but he won't have access to signature events next year. Or he tries to maneuver between both, in which if he doesn't play well, he could lose out status on both. So I'm not sure what you guys think on this or what you think he should do. I think a lot of people kind of tend to go, well, it's the PGA Tour, you might as well just go there. But given his status currently on the Korn Ferry Tour.
Yeah, that's interesting. Interesting, like almost unprecedented, you almost want to think. But given that he's done fairly well already this year, had some good finishes on the PGA Tour, you might as well just take those sponsors exemptions while you can, I feel like.
Yeah.
Especially this time of year, we're getting into the summer. It's all these courses, like there's a lot of gettable tournaments. You know, John Deere is just screaming his name right now in July.
While it's still in existence. Yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly. You know, this week, another one that's kind of an off week one. You know, super deep field. So yeah, I mean, especially this week, you go from outside Dallas. I think this week it's in Fort Worth. It's like 30 minutes apart, hour apart. Like, just go play the tournament down the road. If you're going to get an exemption into the Czech Schwab this week, keep doing it. It's going to prep you better too, long term. I feel like, right? Like, you're playing against the best of the best, even if you don't have the best results that you want. This is the best competition on the planet. So, and he's 19. So even if you fail, this is the time to do it.
Yeah, that's exactly my thoughts there, John. You take a kid who's super young, he can travel. The jet lag's not going to be anywhere near as much of a factor as it is for some of these other guys. He gets to go play different courses, different course conditions, and I know we joke about it, but who knows how many more seasons there's going to be with this many tournaments. So sponsor exemptions are going to come into focus a lot more around what you as a player can quote unquote bring to this event based on your following or your kind of your aura around your brand that you've built in conjunction with that event. So I'd say stick with what he has right now, take as many exemptions as he can get, and I think he'll play his way onto a card for a full-time card by next year if he continues the way that he's playing.
My one thought on it all is I know he can kind of go back and forth between the two, but I'm wondering if either tour needs an answer from him. Like, look, are you going to try to play PGA Tour or are you going to try to stick with the Korn Ferry Tour? Because my thought process is couldn't he just play one or two more Korn Ferry Tour events and basically secure the top 20 there, more or less, and continue out the year on the PGA Tour? And if for some reason that falls flat, he can fall back on the Korn Ferry to get the membership. I don't know how that situation kind of goes through it.
No, but he's still he's going to be making more money.
100%.
On average, even if you are number one, the official World Golf ranking points, you're going to get so many more, right? By playing in the official tour events. Number two, if you're still scoring in, or if you're still in the top 20, top 30 in each of these events, you're going to be making exponentially more than you ever would on a Korn Ferry Tour event, right? So I do see where you're coming from, Eric, but I would say different if it was somebody other than somebody as promising as Bladesborough. He has proven time and time again that he's got the wherewithal. He's got all the parts of the game that he needs to come out and go low and play well. And this was a perfect example of that this week of how well he was able to play. And if he's able to go that low, that's always been what I've been told is the sign of a good player, right? Is you're not scared to shoot a low number. So even if you're playing from the red tees, you should be able to go. You should be able to take advantage of that, right? And actually shoot that score. And I feel like this was a good example this week of what he can do.
Well, I just looked it up and it says as of now that he has special temporary membership on the tour. Now is when he starts accumulating those FedEx Cup points. Previously, he wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
So the question really becomes is, can he secure his card for next year to hit that top 100 mark on FedEx Cup by the end of the year from however many tournaments he plays in?
Or if he plays well enough in a major to secure a status,
yeah,
that's true too.
That would be huge. That would be absolutely huge.
This is a great problem for him to have right now.
Yes.
Correct.
This is definitely a first world problem for him to have.
I just checked. He's currently sitting at 104 in the world golf rankings.
Moving up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What a spot to be. What a spot to be in.
There's a serious conversation to be had. If he continues to play the way he is, he could potentially be at Augusta next year. That'd be wild. And potentially not even because he won an event, just because he's played so well in many of them that he moves up that quickly in the rankings.
I would love to see that.
Hey, Ryder Cup next year. 20-year-old.
Kind of like an Aubert. Like an Aubert of sorts for the U.S. team.
That would be interesting.
Even younger, yeah.
Yeah, because he wouldn't care. He wouldn't care. Go over in European territory.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Why not? Let's go fuck shit up. Yeah.
We should fuck shit up. We're not going to, but we should.
Such a marketable name.
It is.
Who do you think the brand is that's going to pick him up for blades? Is it going to be Mizuno?
For clubs?
Maybe Strixon? Yeah, for clubs.
I think he's Callaway now.
Is he Callaway?
I think so.
I was going to say this is like.
Did they already sign? Did they already sign
for him to go TaylorMade and all the content that they push out? This is prime TaylorMade stuff.
I think he's Callaway.
Brown.
What's in the bag? Blades Brown.
No, he's playing. Let's see what he's playing.
He's playing golf equipment from Callaway.
But is he officially sponsored?
I don't think he's officially sponsored. Yeah. He has a mixed bag of clubs. Callaway Woods irons, Odyssey putter. But it doesn't give us...
Doesn't sound mixed to me.
No, it doesn't sound mixed. I don't know why they would say mixed. Oh, well. We'll see. I mean, he continues to play like this, he'll have the pick of the litter.
Yep.
Which, again, good problem to have.
Very good.
Absolutely.
All right. I guess we'll go down the path on the same realm of Brooks. And if you guys caught kind of what he was alluding to on the differences he's starting to see between kind of LIV and the PGA Tour now that he's back on it, he was basically saying that the access to equipment on the PGA Tour with all their vans there is completely different than what he saw on LIV Golf. And I know there's been some pushback from the LIV side of like, well, that's not the case and this and that, but it has to be for multiple reasons. But I wanted to get your guys' thought on it.
What, just
just like his comments,
tour trucks?
Yeah, his comment of it all. He said, basically, quote, to have so many options may be a little bit overwhelming at the same time because access to equipment, trucks, grip changes, things like that. Sometimes I wasn't privy to that over the last 4 or 5 years. During the majors, it was the only kind of times he saw it.
Hold on. Let me get the world's smallest violin out. Just fucking no, absolutely not, Koepka. No. And I feel like that had to be taken out of context because I feel like Koepka is the last guy to complain about to go out and complain about what he can or can't, what he does or doesn't have access to on tour. Like, you're talking about a guy who's played the same Nike, 2-iron, I think it is, in his bag for the longest time, and wasn't willing to switch away from his driver for the longest time. I think he was playing like an M5 or M6 for a long time, and he's been playing the same putter for who knows how long. But yeah, I think he's probably just pointing out that there was that big of a difference between the two. But you say the same thing between the PGA and the LPGA. They talk about that all the time, about how the LPGA doesn't have access to the same standard of care that these from a tour trucks on to event to event. I forgot who it was, but it's happened so many times now. I can't remember, but LPGA players talking about the airlines losing their clubs and like having to go borrow somebody's clubs, right?
Yeah.
Like to literally go play in an official LPGA event. Like that's disgraceful to me. And like Callaway or Cleveland's like shipping out same day, like express FedEx delivery from like the nearest shop, and they've got a rep out there that's putting them together for them day of or day before. So yeah, you're not going to get a lot of sympathy from me.
They're looking at the local Golf Galaxy and see what time they open. Like, hey, you get fitted. Tee time's at 9:30. What time do you guys open?
Yeah. How long does it take these grips to dry?
Yeah, right. Actually, can you do them overnight, please? Yeah, that's actually a good point. I had no idea that. I mean, it makes sense because like follow all these accounts. You know, TaylorMade, Rickson, Titleist. They're never posting any content at live events, so it kind of makes sense that like they don't have trucks there, right? Like you're kind of on your own. It's kind of wild to think. You know, tour that quote unquote had unlimited money couldn't figure out tour trucks for any of their guys. But it's also the timing of Brooks's comments is also kind of makes sense too, because he just broke up with Rickson. So I don't think he has an official equipment sponsor right now. So he's a bit of a free agent. So him saying like it's a little bit overwhelming having all this stuff here probably is because he's been in like all the trucks in the last, week or two, last couple tournaments he's been in.
Right.
Trying to figure out where he's going to go, what irons he's going to use. I don't even know what irons he's using right now. It still might be Rickson, but he's not officially sponsored by him. It's kind of weird. I forget the statement I read, but he's no longer officially part of the Rickson brand right now. So, but yeah, again, what Ian said, it's what do we? Yeah, you don't change your clubs anyway. When you do, it feels like it's forced. It's like your agent's like, all right, you're swinging these clubs now.
I'll say a perfect example of this is Scotty, right? They're talking about how it took so much for him to switch over to a new driver, right? But TaylorMade wants him to play the latest and greatest, but he wasn't willing to change for the longest time because it's like, look, man, I got this dialed. Why do I need to change it? Like, I don't want to change. And you're not going to change mid-season. When you're number one in the world, you're not going to be changing clubs mid-season. The only guy that I know or that I can remember ever in history changing equipment mid-season as number one in the world was Tiger, because he was always
tinkering though.
Yeah.
Always. And that was just the kind of guy that he is, right? But he was also the guy who was hitting 10,000 golf balls every fucking week. So like there was nobody else who was hitting that amount of golf balls to have the same feel around what felt good, right? Versus what didn't. I still remember remembering his putter being a half a degree open, and he could tell that it was a half a degree open. Like he was one of the only guys that some of the fitter, like one of the fitters on tour said at Scotty Cameron, that he was like, he would know. He just knew, because you hit so many like that, and you literally put a wear mark in the center of the fucking club face of a putter. You know how many golf balls that takes, to wear out the center of a putter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unreal. But yeah.
I mean,
he could figure out. He hit another Tiger story. Apparently, that when he was young, they put 4 golf balls in front of him. The one was like Titleist, Wilson, forget the other 2 brands, and he hit them. They were blind, and he knew he hit like 100 of each, and he was like, or not even like 100 of each. He hit like 1 of each. And he knew each brand.
That's crazy.
You talking about me like that's crazy. It's like the game. It's like the game on the jumbotron at the games where they're like, pick the hat where the ball ends up. I'd be like,
yeah.
I'd be like looking at the crowd. I'd be like, 3, 4. What do we got here? Titleist?
Tell me.
I don't know.
I don't know. What is it?
I don't know. The white ball. I don't know.
Phone a friend.
I have no idea.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, it goes back almost to what you said. Is like it was probably just taken out of context, because what did people really think was happening at the live events? I mean, they throw all this money around, but do you really think that these big rep brands were going to go for 50, 60 guys? And some of these no names that just came over to live just because they got money thrown at them. I don't know what people were thinking.
Mm-hmm.
What personally, do I hope it was kind of a jab at live to be like, look, you guys suck. I'm glad I'm no longer there.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he also threw another jab in there someone's asking him about like if he's talked to any of these LIV guys since he's left, and he basically said, I've changed my number, so they probably don't have it.
Damn.
Yeah.
We'll talk about
Yeah.
right there, just in the side. God, wow. Slit the throat, why don't you?
Makes me proud to be a Seminole.
Yep, go Knowles.
Dang.
Scalp 'em. But last point I'll say is the only other thing that I'll say could potentially be another reason that they won't talk about, that the brands won't talk about, is they don't want to upset the tour, right? Because the big deals that they have with the tour, they don't have they get their pick of the litter on which brands go where, and especially within like merchandise tents. That's all a political game, man. Yes, you can pay a little bit more to try to get a more premium spot, but at the end of the day, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And if you've pissed somebody off because you decided to have a bigger presence at a LIV event than you did at a tour event, agnostic of the size of that tour event that week, you could start making a statement that you don't want to make with your biggest collaborator, your biggest partner.
Yeah,
that's a good point. I don't know, man. We'll see. I'm still waiting for it all just crumble down. And I think we don't have to get into it this week, but I think the talks of Bryson, like, well, maybe I'll just do YouTube golf for, forever and not play competitive golf. Who knows?
Let me just say, I think he's genuinely serious.
I'm sure he is.
That.
Oh, I do too.
And I think he would enjoy. I think he would enjoy every minute of it. And never look back. He's a multiple. It's a multiple time major winner. He's got all the money in the world that he needs. Just go and just continue to go fucking rake it in on YouTube.
It just goes back to what his contract said about his YouTube rights.
Yeah. Yep.
Which I'm sure that's going to come out at some point.
Big time. It has to. Yeah.
We'll see. All right. Before we get to Charles Schwab Challenge this week, I was looking at some news and I didn't realize this, but Cam Young at the PGA Championship was apparently playing with a ball that would conform
rolled back
to the new rollback. So these people are saying he's still hitting the shit out of the ball. So like both sides of the argument are now like, well, on one hand, you can say, look, it's not really doing much because he's still Cam Young hitting the piss of the ball. But on the other hand, people are saying this clearly isn't enough. So what side?
Yeah. I read the same article that you were talking about there, Eric. And as much as I want to believe that Cam Young put that golf ball in because he saw it as the best possible opportunity for him to win the golf tournament, I think this was more so him with Titleist saying, hey, look, we would like to work with you on a conforming golf ball that meets these new standards that you obviously are one of the biggest names in the game right now. You've got a big brand. Can you come out and make a splash? And we'll be behind that. As Titleist, we will be behind you the entire way, right? But to your point, he went out and I want to say that he played as well as he normally does, but he didn't actually play as well as he normally does. But he still hit it a fucking country mile.
Right.
So the argument around not being able to hit it as far goes out the window. So, but to the players' defense, not to Cam Young, but overall players, that's what they've been saying this entire time. It's not just about the golf ball. It's the combination of the golf ball and the technology, because the 460cc head is just they've made such extraordinary advancements in the abilities of fitting like the MOI and all this background technology, right, into that size of a head. It's not gonna change anything. It's not gonna change anything. So you gotta either, number one, change or limit the actual elements that you can use, like the materials that you can use in the clubs themselves, or you have to make the clubs and potentially the golf ball smaller. like literally make it smaller to when it was smaller back in the day. So I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I always thought that it didn't really matter unless you hollow out the ball and like really make it impossible to hit it 300 yards or whatever. Like it's not going to make a big dent on the game. And it sounds like with Cameo this week, his numbers were essentially the same as far as like driving, driving distance, ball speed, all that. I've always been pro make the courses harder, put it on the courses, make them harder, and you can do the opposite of what TPC Craig Ranch did from this past weekend and making the course easier. Just don't do what they did, make it harder, bring back Donald Ross from the grave and, make the greens tougher, make rough more penal. Put it on the golf courses, where it's, maybe the PGA Tour helps them out with the funding to do that too, but let's not upend and, make this, billions and billions and billions of dollars into R&D to change something that might not, probably good chance isn't going to make a huge difference, right? Like,
So you push everybody. So John, you're saying just push everybody to more courses like Aronimink
or something. Yeah, I mean, make the courses, make them a little harder. You have to like blow them up and start over. But they've done that with some of the courses. Move tee boxes back, put that tree at Sawgrass, in the whatever that is, hole 6 or whatever. They had that tree overhanging. Little things like that. You don't have to redo the entire thing, but make it tougher on the course with what the layout that you have. And especially if it's a course that the tour is coming back to every single year, maybe give them, tour's got some money, give them however much money they need to tweak, tee box here, green there, bunkers here, even though bunkers aren't really penal anymore, but make the rough a little bit more penal and go from there. See what happens.
That's always been my thing ever since this conversation of the golf ball rollback came into the world. Just like, it doesn't matter if they hit it 350 and 60 yards or they hit it 310 or 20 yards. Like, they're still dominating these golf courses. And I think, John, to your point is the courses just need to be harder. I mean, this past week was an exceptional example of 30 under with multiple people shooting 60s and 61s and 62s. Yes, I understand you have to go out and shoot a score. You still have to play the golf course, but rolling it back 30 yards is not going to do anything for those scores. So,
no.
I mean, yeah, whether like we saw at Aronimink with the greens being as hard as they were, whether you dry out the course a little bit and angle the fairway so they have to hit certain shots into the fairways or else it bounces off and goes into the rough. Those are the kind of things I think that need to be taken into consideration. And I think, John, you had a good point of like, the tour wants to do something about it and be part of that solution, throw some money at some of these clubs, especially if they're going to a condensed schedule where they might be going back to these same tracks. Start now.
I think they will. I think they're going to pick. I think they're going to pick tracks that are going to be tighter. They're going to be less forgiving off the tee, and the greens are going to be smaller and/or they're going to be more undulated. They really don't have a choice. If they want quote unquote true tests of golf, that's what you have to do.
It's not for every course either. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
the majors are their own thing. Sawgrass, they've tweaked some. Arnold Palmer's always hard. Memorial's usually pretty difficult. So I mean, there's a lot of ones that, like, the Memorial has been redone recently. So I mean, like, it's, maybe 5 to 7 courses that you kind of have to tweak, like these Texas ones. This week, this Chuck Schwab is usually a pretty high scoring tournament. So I mean, it's not that many. So we're talking about a 30 under tournament. It doesn't happen every week, but yeah, I think that's, again, that's the idea. Let's not fuck with the equipment. Let's not put it on the billions and billions of dollars for these companies that are going to have to invest in it.
Well, and it's only going to be for these guys too.
True.
Because
exactly.
you're literally
small.
Right. You're literally talking about creating lines of golf clubs specifically for tour players only. And now the whole idea of having sponsoring PGA Tour players, I don't want to say goes out the window, but it drastically reduces the sex appeal of, like, I'm playing the exact same club as so-and-so on tour, right? it's just not going to be the same anymore. Like, yes, right now they have like low spin and tour versions of the same driver, but at the end of the day, they are the same driver, or they're the same iron set, right? That wouldn't be the case anymore if they rolled all these back, and it wouldn't be the same with the golf balls, right? Where you now have a completely different golf ball that is tour, quote unquote, tour flighted, right? Or a driver head that is smaller than other heads because it's tour only, right? So, or tour conforming. So, I don't know. It's a weird world it's a weird world we live in right now, where we're literally trying to handicap the best players in the world because they're too good.
Because then you could also make the argument of, does that kind of go over to Korn Ferry Tour, to DP World Tour, to all these other tours, mini tours?
Yeah.
Because then you could say, well, if it doesn't go to the mini tours where some of these guys come up, and not even Korn Ferry Tour even, that handicaps those players then too. Because they're playing with better equipment.
Different ball, yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just do what the MLB did. Let's just go back to wooden clubs.
I thought you were going to say, let's go to a shot clock.
Yeah. Well, that too. Yes, definitely. Yes, we could learn a lot from MLB. We'll go to the shot clock for pitches.
That would be.
And we're gonna go.
That would be so funny if they just got like volunteers and it's just like kids at tournaments. They just
holding it at the shot
clock. And they hold it up behind them, and then if it goes off, there's a buzzer, and the players are just yelling at the kids, and they're like, "You." It's like kids are just standing there like, "I'm 9, dude. Hey, what do you want from me?" Yeah, I'm 12. That would be funny.
Well, I'm serious though, like, because we're going to continue to have this same conversation over and over and over, because the manufacturers are going to find ways around it. They're just 100%. Always going to find ways around it. So you either limit the materials to specific materials that you only want them to be able to use, right? If that's wood, make it wood. But still, like, I don't see how you get around this. You've created, if we start going down this rabbit hole, which it would be something that the PGA Tour would do, right? Is just to open up this big ass fucking rabbit hole and just let people just not actually define anything and just be like, no, we're going to roll it back. We are. Watch us do it. And then take like 10 years to actually do it.
Well, it's all right. Patrick Cantlay will lead the players on a lawsuit against big ball companies. I don't know. And then it'll go into litigation for years, and then the PGA Tour eventually will just say, all right, we're done.
Yeah, so, we're over it.
And then Cantlay will actually hit his putt.
Nice.
Potentially.
There you go. Balls in your court, Cantlay.
Right.
Literally.
All right. On to Charles Schwab. I don't have much to say. I could give my normal spiel of, this is the week, we have to do it.
Is how Tomlin playing this week?
Oh fuck!
I'm betting him to miss a cut again.
He is playing this week, and I will not be picking him.
Top guy in the field is Ludwig from a FedEx Cup perspective. Alex Smalley at 15, right? JJ Spawn at 21, right?
I'm seeing some of the scores from the last few years. This is this could potentially be a decent tournament in terms of scoring. 12 under won last year, 24 won at, I believe it was 12 under. Looks like it was single digits the couple years before that. So
Tour doesn't need to change this one.
They don't.
It's good.
They absolutely don't. I will say, not saying this is going to be my pick, Nick Dunlap is in the field.
From the grave. There he is.
Just saying.
Nicky.
Stop saying it. You're not picking him.
All right, who's leading us off?
I'll go.
Go in.
Who you got?
All right. I'm gonna keep this party rolling, but it's gonna be a different pick. Gary Woodland.
Okay. I still don't understand the intro to that, but okay.
Yeah, neither.
I'm saying I've picked well. I've picked well up to this point, but this is a different kind of pick for me. Gary hasn't been a guy that I've picked this year so far. So
You know what? I'm gonna stay on that theme because the guy I'm picking I don't like really at all, but
Jesus.
he's played well semi recently. He was off this week. You know, per his Instagram, he got some good practice in. Back home in Florida, talking about Justin Thomas.
Ooh, controversial pick.
Okay. So are we? Should I say on theme of people that we wouldn't normally pick?
Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
like our bet. We never hit this bet, so we might as well be it.
That's
on
true.
something we
Gonna
don't
happen.
like.
That's
it's
true.
literally it is true. Honestly, the statistics are completely. We are defying the odds that we've yet to hit this bet.
Okay. Well, I have to change who I was going to pick then. I was going to go down the path of he needs to have a really good week to have any shot to potentially making it to the U.S. Open. But who do I pick now? Someone that I don't normally pick. Someone that wouldn't be on my radar.
Ludwig?
No. Last time we picked a guy that shouldn't miss the top 20. We missed the top 20.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay. I'm going to go with the guy that's already secured his spot in the U.S. Open field. Playing well. I'm going with Tom Kim.
Interesting choice. Choice.
Do you not like him? Or are you indifferent?
I'm indifferent. It's just someone I wouldn't normally pick. That's the route I went.
I was about to say, I like Tom Kim. He just hasn't been playing particularly well this season. But, maybe this is the week. Maybe this is the week.
Could be. It could be. All right. That puts our odds at 20-1.
Dang. All right. Wowzer.
So,
Wowzer's right.
Gotta hope.
Maybe the week.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Tom Kim's
got it.
I'm just looking at his. He's got one single top 20.
There you go.
And that was at the Myrtle Beach Classic.
It's a perfect tournament. Perfect tournament for him to do something.
I know. I take that back. Sanderson Farms. He also finished T11.
Okay. Well, it's the first time.
Dang.
First time for everything.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. I got a good feeling about this. You know what? I'm not putting bad juju on.
I got a great feeling about this.
Let's do this.
I don't know. I was really trying to pick Nick Dunlap, but then you guys started going down a different path. So I don't even know what his odds were. Oh my God.
To draw the line. So
if I would have picked
10-1
Nick Dunlap, our odds would have jumped to 60-1. He's almost 8-1 to make top 20. So
wow.
You're welcome.
We'll see.
Thank you so much, Eric.
Yeah, we'll see.
Thank you.
Hey, we have never hit this bet, so we don't know what to look for. Okay.
It's true.
So he's missed every single cut this year, other than the Sony Hawaiian Open that he finished T61 and the One Flight Myrtle Beach Classic he finished T24.
Who's this?
He's Nick Dunlap.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Tom Kim for a second.
No, Nick Dunlap.
Yeah, I would like to put this out there, and I'm going to knock on wood just in case I don't jinx us, but it seems more often than not Tom Kim is going to make the cut. He's usually nowhere near the top 20, but it seems like he's going to make the cut.
That's what I was going to say.
What did he say about Scotty when he picked Scotty in the top 20? I'm going to pick someone who's not going to F up the bet.
I picked someone who absolutely could, has the most reason to fuck up the bet.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he's going to make it to the weekend. So, therefore, we won't have a Hong Lee situation.
We picked some wild cards.
We did.
A bit, yeah.
You know what?
This could be the springboard. This could be.
We might actually the next week, or what we should do for the U.S. Open, if this doesn't hit by then. Which what do we have? 3 weeks. We should just get a dartboard and just throw darts, and whoever it lands on, we pick.
Do one of those spinning,
or we get one of those. The spinning generators. Yes,
yeah, spinning generators. Literally the entire field.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do it at work all the time for like someone to win. Just like spin it, put all their names in. So we'll just need the entire U.S. Open field. There'll be some random amateur who qualified in Columbus, Georgia, or Columbus, Ohio. Sure.
We'll do
Shinnecock.
it.
Sure. Yeah. God.
This is absolutely happening for Shinnecock.
Oh,
okay.
100%.
God, yeah. I'm down with that. We'll each get a spin.
This is what we're gonna do next week, right here.
Yep.
This will be next week.
Yes.
Spin to win.
Good luck putting 120
Literally,
names on that,
this is how. Yes, it's going to be incredible. We're going to look at this. We got we got gifts. We got little animations going. We got
wonderful.
ads. This is going to be. This is
nice.
what I need in my life. This could. You know what? Honestly, let's just fuck it. Let's just add a fourth. We're not winning with 3, so why don't we just add a fourth?
Easy.
And
Let's just win with 3 first.
Careful. We just get 3 to make the weekend. Oh, nice.
Okay. Allie wins. You know. All right. Enough of that. Enough.
Thanks, Ian.
Jeez,
Thank you. But yeah, thank you for the visual. Yeah.
More to look forward to next week. Yep.
Yeah.
I think it does have sound effects too if we want to.
If it has sound effects, that changes the game.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's another round in the books. Again, thanks for hanging out with the tribe. Remember, if you enjoyed the show, make sure to subscribe and share it. And until next time, keep it in the short grass, keep the drinks cold, and as always, go Noles.
Go Noles.
Go Noles.